Today on Broken Beyond Repair, get to know how not one, but two happy marriages ended in betrayal for Sarah.
My very first marriage, at the beginning, everything was wonderful, it was great. It was a happy marriage. My husband decided to leave me. I met someone else, had a good relationship. We have a wonderful marriage. I had 2 more children with that second marriage. Unfortunately, that husband of mine decided to be with someone else.
Left with 4 children to care for, she saw no way out and was forced to enter into a life of drugs and prostitution to provide for her kids.
Crack was one of the drugs that really make me feel good. So that leads me to prostitution because I didn't have a job, I didn't have any money. I have to provide my children with food and everything that they need.
Not realizing the impact this lifestyle would have on her children, Sarah's daughter Amanda is also here to share her experience of growing up with a mother involved in prostitution.
I was depressed, I was very sad, I was very angry. I've always felt like the black sheep of my family.
Depression, sadness, and anger were just the tip of the iceberg for the life Amanda experienced.
Hurting myself actually helped me deal with the situation because I thought that was the only way to really deal with everything that was going on inside of me.
My lowest point was when I was so drunk and so high. I remember driving home and I just remember waking up the next day. My car was destroyed. Even though I had no wheels on my car, so I'm not sure up to this day, my life, I'm not sure how I got home.
The relationship with my parents, it was bad. I would talk back all the time. I even hit my mom one time because I was angry. I would punch holes into walls. I did try drugs, I did drink, did go partying.
I said, I'm alive today and I don't even know why.
Don't change the channel and see how their stories unfold from a life of divorce, broken family, and drugs into a loving, united family. Broken Beyond Repair. The untold stories of those who were once broken.
If you think that there is no more solution, there is no more way out for you, you think that you are broken beyond repair. Actually, this is what people always, when they judge, when they criticize, they say to others. These bad remarks breaks a person even more.
That's right. You know, nobody needs to hear that. What people need is a word of faith, a word of encouragement. The whole world is negative.
Right.
The whole world is criticizing other people and assuming that a person can't recover from certain mistakes.
And these words, the word is gives life or kills somebody.
Right.
The Bible says that the word is either kill or gives life. That's why we have to be careful what we say and how we say it. Well, a person is already broken, a person is already down, and then here, from the spouse, from the parents, from their own children, say you are worth nothing. Yes. You are good for nothing. These words kills faster than the problem itself.
That's right. It's like a curse. It's something that will come true, especially when a parent, when a friend says this about someone, that it's very hard for a person to forget those words.
Imagine if somebody goes to the doctor, a person is sick, and the doctor say, you are going to die.
Yeah, so most people will die.
Right.
Most people will not have the power to fight against those words because it's coming from a doctor, and he knows.
That's right. You are not broken beyond repair. They were broken, and God did restore their lives. Amanda, Sarah, thank you very much for joining us to come to the show. Let us do something different. Usually I ask people how their lives were before.
Right.
You are not going to say it. You are going to speak about each other. You are not bad-mouthing. Amanda, let me begin with you. Who was Sarah before? Open the book and read her past life.
Okay, so Sarah in the past life, she liked to argue a lot. I remember going to McDonald's or going to or even where we used to live, she used to fight with everybody. Everywhere that we went. She always used to yell. She always liked to, for some reason, it seemed like she enjoyed to see me sad. So the things that she would say to me were horrible as well. She used to leave me and my siblings at home alone all the time while she went and did whatever it is that she was doing. So she wasn't a very pleasant person.
So you were born and you grew up seeing your mother all over the place. Doing what?
So she used to party a lot. She used to drink a lot. She she was always with a different man as well. She would go to different clubs and different places and just find different men. So I would meet somebody new almost every month.
So did she used to bring these partners to the house?
Yes, sir.
So always you saw different men coming to the house?
Yes, sir.
If you can remember, how old were you?
So it had to be maybe 11, 12, 13, around those ages. But growing up, I saw a lot of that, a lot.
How many siblings are you?
So I'm the oldest. I have, oh man.
You forgot the numbers.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I have 4 other siblings.
4 other siblings?
Yes, sir.
So, and you said that she used to leave the children, so then you became the mother in
Yes,
charge.
Sir. Yes, sir. Yes. I would have to wake them up for school. I would have to make sure that they got off the bus and make sure they ate, make sure they were taken care of, because she was honestly nowhere to be found.
Nowhere to be found. So Sarah did not care?
No, she didn't. At the time, no.
So you grew up without a mother?
Yes, sir.
So this is a life broken for many, beyond repair. But these are the people that we are here to help. We never come here before the cameras and say, you who are well, you who are a Christian, leave your church or come to my church. No, we are talking to those, even though they believe in God, but they are broken.
That's right. We're always looking for people who are suffering, people who are, their problems are destroying their lives, because we know the power of God. Anyone can walk into a universal church and we're not intimidated, because we know that God is bigger than their problem.
That's right.
Doesn't matter what their problem is.
That's right. And we always say, hey, you come as you are. So now, Sarah, let us talk about Amanda. She spoke about you, now it's your turn.
That's my turn.
Tell how her life was, the troublemaker Amanda.
So Amanda, it was so bad to the point that she actually hit me. She used to hit me. She was very disrespectful. She used to go to clubs a lot as well. She did have different partners as well that I was able to meet, but Amanda was really very disrespectful to the point that, once again, she did hit me. She used to hit her brothers and her siblings as well. And one of the ways she used to get back to me was doing, cutting herself, doing things to her body to be able to get to me, to get back to me of the things that I was doing to them, leaving her with her siblings, not caring for my children. So that created anger in her life at an early age, to the point that she was doing to herself, to hurt herself to get to me.
So Sarah, when you saw the cuts on her arms, mainly on her arms,
Yes.
how did that make you feel?
It did make me feel very bad at the moment, but because I was so caught up with my own life, with my own disappointments, with my own failures in my life, that at the moment, for me, it was okay. And when I say it was okay, not because it was fine for her to hurt herself, but that's the life we live. For me, that was normal. Hurting yourself, feeling depressed, feeling down, it was normal. That was a normal, everyday life.
Okay, now we already know their past life, and I want to know more from you, Sarah. You failed as a mother, you failed in your love life, but how did your suffering begin?
So my suffering began when I got divorced for the first time. So this is I've been married. This will be my third marriage now. So the first time that I was divorced because of my husband, he left me to be with someone else. So everything began from that point going forward in my life. At the moment, I felt that I was the worst person in this world. I was not. I was putting my own self down by doing different things, like going out, meeting different people to kind of prove that I was worth it. I was someone that I was worth it, but I was doing it in the wrong way. And I wanted to give attention to men so they know that I'm worth it, but I was giving that attention in the wrong way. Second marriage happened, got divorced once again. That things began to be even worse then, to the point that I was arrested a couple of times because my anger became so strong that I was pretty much, I hate the world, I hate people, I hate men at that point, that I just did things to make me feel better, like using drugs.
Well, you are saying you hated everybody, you hated men. Amanda said that always you used to bring a different partner to the house. But now you are saying that you hated men.
And that is correct. That's the reason I was doing it. Meeting different people, meeting different men, so I'm able to get back to them for what my husband did to me.
So you want others to suffer, to cause them to suffer, because you were disappointed, you were in suffering, you want others to feel the same pain.
That is correct, especially when it came to a man.
What was the lowest point in your life? It's like Bishop David, when we break a glass, a vessel, that you say there is no more way to mend back the pieces, right, to repair it. This is the lowest point.
It's ruined.
It's ruined.
There's no way to repair that.
So imagine you take pieces and you go to a place and say, can you repair? They're going to say, no, you're crazy.
Right.
It's pieces we cannot put back together. Like when you burn a document to ashes, there is no more way to copy it.
Yeah, you can't fix it any longer. You can't restore it.
Yeah, and when did you find yourself in this situation?
So, because the suffering was so huge in my life, once again, at that moment, I feel that this is how the world should be. This is what I lived, and this is the way my life is going to be. So what I did is I once again went out, tried to find attention, drank to the point that I do not remember what happened. The only thing I remember is coming home. Amanda was home. I remember like today that I came home and said, Amanda, I'm not sure what happened, but something happened. So I woke up the next morning, my car was destroyed, completely destroyed. And at that moment I said, well, I'm still alive, so there's another way. There needs to be a change. But that was my lowest life. I went out with a guy, drank too much to the point that I do not remember what happened. The next day, came home, car was destroyed, no wheels on my car.
Amanda, you did not want to be, as a kid, you did not want to be like your mother.
No, not at all. I always used to say that when people would tell me that I'm just like her, I would tell them I'm absolutely not like my mother. I don't act in the way that she does. I don't speak the way that she does. And I used to get very mad when people would say that to me because I didn't think I was like her.
You did not want to be like her.
Not at all.
So usually the kids that have bad examples from their parents, they have this sexual orientation problem. they use drugs, they are partying a lot, they're irresponsible, they don't work. The kids always say, when I grow up, I'm going to be a different person. But when they do, when they grow up, they become exactly the same or even worse.
Yeah. It's like a big paradox. It's like the devil makes their nightmare come true.
Yes.
They become the person that they hate. They start doing the same things that they disliked about their parents.
That was your promise. I'm not going to be like her.
Yes, sir.
But growing up, what happened to you? Who did you become?
I became exactly like the one person I did not want to become. Same thing, I looked for attention in other men. I was into the drugs, I was into the drinking, the partying, and I have a daughter as well, and I did exactly what my mom did. I would leave her with like my mom or whoever so I can go.
What you hated the most was that your mother left you, your 4 siblings, alone. Now you had a daughter and you are doing the same thing.
Absolutely, I would leave her alone. I remember there was a time too, I was at a house and there was a lot of drugs and a lot of drinking, and I remember I left my daughter there so I can go and get ready so I can come back and party. And I remember doing things like that, and I'm just like, I didn't even know what to think. I didn't know what else to do. I was just like, well.
Well, Sarah, you saw your daughter going through the same things, taking the same path. Did you feel guilty?
I did not feel guilty because that was life. That's all I knew. So what she was doing was normal because I was doing it as well.
You thought it was normal.
Exactly.
You who say, I feel I am broken beyond repair. My family, my love life, I'm broken. Just like pieces left over. And nobody can repair. Doctors cannot repair you. Physicians cannot repair you. Nobody, not even therapists, cannot help you. But Jesus can take the pieces of your life. He can take every piece of your life and he can not just repair, he can make you new. He said, I make everything new. So I challenge you who are watching us in any platform right now, on the TV, YouTube, Facebook, I challenge you to take this broken life and bring it to us. If nothing happened, you can leave, you can do whatever you find the best. But take the shot. Take this challenge. Call this number you see on your screen. 1-888-332-4141. You can send us a text. This is the text you are going to send. 1-888-312-4141. This number is not for call, but only for text. Do you accept the challenge? Contact us right now. I have these counselors on the helpline. They are ready, available to take your call because they were also broken beyond repair. Let us watch now what curses are all about.
A generational curse is a continuous cycle that began with your ancestors and now has fallen upon you. A series of reoccurring situations that became a stumbling block, impeding you from moving ahead. All the women in your family died from breast cancer, and now your test results shows that you could be the next. Your job only lasts a few months, leading you to be unemployed, just like all the men before you. You thought he was the man of your dreams, but you became one more woman abused in your blood lineage. And every couple of months, a loved one always seems to die. Many people may see it as one more obstacle to overcome in their day-to-day life, but in reality, this is a generational curse. Do you feel broken and helpless? Join now the Broken Beyond Repair Challenge and begin to see great changes in your life. Call now at 1-888-332-4141 or text the word challenge to 1-888-312-4141.
Amanda, tell us, you didn't want to be like your mother, but you became like her. What did you use to do?
So I did the same exact thing. I did the drinking, the smoking, looking for attention in men, and also left my daughter with other people, just like my mom used to do to me.
Which kind of drugs you using?
I used to use marijuana. I used to take Molly as well, and any prescription drugs like Xanax and things like that, to just make me feel good. That was the purpose.
So she became just like her mom.
So you also had an anger problem?
Yes. I was always very angry. That's what led me to hit my mother. And then I also used to break things in the house. I used to punch holes into walls. I remember there was a point too, even when I was very young, anytime like I would get very upset at my mother or whoever upset me, if there was like a lot of stuff on the table, I would like take everything and just throw it all on the floor and just start screaming and yelling because I was so angry. But yeah, very, very angry. And I used to fight with people a lot. I used to like to look for fights as well.
That is correct.
Look for fights.
Yes.
Okay, who came into this ministry first?
I did. So I was charged with multiple charges because of the things that I did. So I remember just walking down the street, thinking about what's going to happen the next day because I was going to go to court. My lawyer even talked to me about deportation. I was going to be deported. So all those things were going through my mind. I was walking down the street, just thinking about what's going to happen tomorrow in court. There was a lady that came to me, and she saw my face. She saw me crying, and she said, "Are you okay?" I said, "Yes, I'm okay. Thank you." So I continued walking, but that person saw something that lead her to come back and continue talking to me. I really didn't want to talk to her. I didn't want to talk to anyone at the moment because I was worried about what was going to happen tomorrow. So this member, she asked me, "So are you sure you're okay?" I said, "Yes, I am okay. Why are you continue chasing me? Why do you want to speak with me?" So she then say, "Well, I want to let you know just by looking at your eyes, there's something wrong. But I do want to let you know that whatever you're going through, there is a solution to your problem." And I say, "Well, there's no solution to my problem."
So actually she was challenging you.
Exactly.
That was a challenge. It's what this episode, Broken Beyond Repair, is all about challenge. Did you accept the challenge?
At the beginning, I didn't want to accept the challenge. But then she did talk to me. She did actually put some sense. I will have to say she put some sense in my head and said, if you go tomorrow to church, they're going to do a prayer for you. If you do not see any changes in your life, please do not ever come back, and you can call me a liar. That was exactly her words. You can call me a liar.
That was a challenge.
That was. Yeah.
So that
Yes.
made sense to you, and you accepted that.
I did accept it.
All
I
right,
did.
okay, I'll try.
I tried. Yep.
In this ministry, Sarah, what did you do, and what has God done for you?
So in the ministry, when I first came to the church, because of this challenge, I wanted to see a change in my life, and I didn't want to wait a day or a couple of hours. I wanted to see a change instantly. They were doing a chain of prayers. They pray on me. Right away, I noticed and I felt a change in my life, within me, inside of me. And because of that, I wanted to continue. I wanted to continue to feel that way. So I started doing chain of prayers. And through my transition, things were changing within inside of me and in my life and in my surroundings. And because of that, I was able to bring my family. So today I can say that I'm liberated. I'm free, and there's a peace that is in me that I wish I would find it when I was doing what I did.
But
in
praise
my
God,
life.
you found it on time.
I sure did. Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Amanda, did you see the changes in your mother as she was going to church? What was the first change you saw in her life?
So, growing up, we went to many different churches, and my mom was always there faithfully on Sundays. But when she started going to the Universal Church, I've noticed there was a difference in the way that she carried herself. Like, she wasn't, because she was always so angry. She always had like this face of like anger, and she didn't want like anybody to really be around her. But I honestly noticed the change inside of her and the way that she spoke to me and my siblings, and she was nicer, and it was weird at first. I'm like, is this really my mom? And that's actually what made me think, okay, all right, let me try this place out and let me see.
Because the other time she promised, I will change, I will never do that.
Absolutely.
This time there were no promises, but action.
Exactly. That was the difference. I actually saw the fruits. It wasn't just her saying things. It was actually, I saw results.
At the beginning, you told us the problems how problematic she was before. Mm-hmm. Now tell us, who is your mother? Who is Sarah nowadays?
Sarah is a woman, a very virtuous woman, a woman that built her home, a woman that loves her family, that is always fighting to do her best. We are never perfect, but she's always fighting to do her best every single day. She doesn't get into fights with people wherever we go. And she's a lot more loving, she's a lot more caring, and she thinks about what it is that she's doing before she does it. She knows that she doesn't want to go backwards and be that same person. So I see her fight every single day to always be her best and to always do her best.
Right. Sarah, who is Amanda today?
Amanda today is a different person, but not only that, she's actually my best friend. I can go to her, I can talk to her about anything, and me and her are so close, so close together that people think that we are sisters, not even mom and daughter. But Amanda is a different person, very, very humble person, very humble, which is one of the qualities that I do love about her. And today we are different. We are. She's my friend. She's my best friend.
No, it's true, because in friendships, there's always like me and my mom, we balance each other out. Exactly. It's funny to say it that way, but it's like it's a real friendship, because she shows me things that I need to see, and I show her the same thing, and that's how this relationship works, and it's pretty amazing.
Only the Holy Spirit should do it.
Truly.
Absolutely.
Truly, only the Holy Spirit.
You receive the Holy Spirit.
Yes, sir.
Yes, we did.
Broken beyond repair. The untold stories of those who were once broken.